Greetings and welcome to Stardrive 2. So this game was just released yesterday on Steam and I had my eye on it for quite a while because I think it's a very interesting concept. The easiest way, I guess, to describe it is that it is a 4X game set in space. But there's a lot more to it than just that. It's sort of similar to Master of Orion, Space Empires, Galactic Civilizations, or more recently Endless Space. And the reason why I like it is because it's sort of a hybrid between genres. The normal Empire management is sort of similar to many classic 4X games, but the space battles between the ships is more like RTS games, similar to, let's say, Sins of a Solar Empire. And then you have the ground combat, which is sort of similar to XCOM, where it's tactical turn-based. So yeah, and those are all games that I like very much, and I like the combination of everything. So let's take a look at what you can do in the game. First of all, there's the Grand Campaign. This will be what we will be doing this playthrough. And there are different scenarios that you can choose between. I will probably be doing different videos about all of this later on, but for now, let's focus on the campaign. So, as you can see, there are 9 races to choose between. All the races are somewhat different, and there are some customization options that you can do. So, as you can see, there are all these different traits that every race has. And if you go to customize, you can see that you can choose some different ones. There are a certain amount of points that you can spend. There are 0 points left for this one, but for example, if we get rid of quality engineers, we get 3 more points to spend, and this is the negative amount of points that you can spend. So if you were to go to shoddy engineers, we would be getting 5 points in total, because this is -2, but you would be spending 5 of the negative points that you can choose from. So this is sort of to balance the whole thing, so that you can choose like 20 negative traits and 20 positive ones to make some ridiculous combinations. So that's all very good. Now, there's also some distinct differences between every race. Kind of different from many 4X space games is that you can't make a whole race from scratch. You may see this as somewhat of a negative, but I see it as a positive, because this means that every race really is different. If I were to choose all these traits on this race, it would still be very different. So that means that you have a lot of customization options and that you have a lot of replay value. And yeah, a lot of silly or interesting combinations that you can pick. So for this playthrough, I will be choosing the Opteris Hive with the default setup. I don't really see the point in customizing too much yet, seeing as this is going to be the first big playthrough that I do. I have played it a little while, a few hours before, so that I can actually do a decent playthrough. I know how to start the game properly, at least I hope so. So yes, let's go in and let's take a look at the game setup. So we have the color. I'm just gonna keep this one on orange. As for the map size, you can see the slider back here. This is the amount of systems that will be on the map. And for YouTube reasons, I'll actually be making it a little bit smaller so that the game progresses a little faster, hopefully. So I'm gonna be setting it to 45. Also, you have the system distribution. This kind of speaks for itself. Random distribution, and you also have tooltips for everything that explains what everything does. There's a lot of text on some of these. So yeah, random is just yeah, everything is spread out, as you can see, evenly throughout the map. You have clusters, which means all the systems are formed in clusters, and then you have spiral. So yeah, it's very simple descriptions, and I will be choosing spiral because I think it offers some nice gameplay, as I will explain once we see the map. The rest I will keep to the default settings. I will disable the tutorials. If you play the first time, obviously turn this on. The tutorials are quite thorough, and everything has a voiceover, so that's very nice. Oh yeah, and the opponents, I guess I will be dropping them to 4 because I am playing on a rather small galaxy. And you can also choose the opponents I will be just leaving this as it is. Right, let's begin. So here you have the story of the race. If you want to read it, press pause now. I'm not going to be reading all the stories. There's quite a lot of text in the game. So yes, there we go. And as you can see, no loading screen at all. The game is very loading screen free, I must say. So that's very good. Now here we go. We are at our home system. And yes, that's it's already starting rather bad. As you can see, we are having a starvation issue, simply because we are very bad farmers. I'm not even sure if I can see my traits anywhere. It's kind of something I did. Yeah, here we go. So we are poor farmers. So that's very bad. Our people are starving. So let's move this one up here. We are still starving. So we are moving a few workers to become farmers, and a few scientists to become farmers, because everything is pretty much dependent on what your people do. It's not like, for example, in Civilization 5, where you have when you start a city, you basically have like +3 food and plus so much hammers and all that sort of stuff just by building a city. No, here everything starts from zero, and you have to assign your workers to do everything you want. So yes, we want everything to grow, so we gotta assign people to do farming. Okay, well, over here you can see all the ground forces we have. These will be the guys that you use in all the tactical combats whenever we need to do some ground combat. And you will also hear some ambient noises sometimes. Hopefully they aren't too loud. I had to do some tweaking with these sound settings, because sometimes these sounds weren't very equalized or normalized, or however you may want to call it. So hopefully everything turns out well. Right, so here we have our first ship, and it also has a colony ship. So you can split off all these ships. Everything is explained in the tutorials, so if you were to play this game for yourself, you would be getting these explanations from the tutorial. So let's first of all split off our exploration ship, and let's go and explore this system right here. So as you can see, we can send our ship to any point where we want to, and you can see the ETA. That's the amount of turns that the ship would take to get there. So over here you have 3, over there you have 4. So if you want to micromanage things, you can go to the limit, for example, to make sure that you make the best use of your time. But I won't be doing too much micromanaging, I think. I don't think it's all that necessary. Right, what else do we have to do? Well, we have to choose some research. And the research is somewhat different from other 4X games, because you actually have to make some difficult choices here. Because, yeah, let's take a look at this one. Research, philosophy. Okay. You can only choose to research one of these at every level. And well, yeah, at first I thought that was a bad thing, because I'm usually some sort of a completionist. I want to research everything, but the nice thing about this is that you have to make some difficult choices, and this sort of makes it so that your whole playthrough is different. If you start off with this research lab, for example, research lab gives you a building to build. Actually, most of the research is for either buildings or for modules for your ships. So for example, research lab gives me +1 research per scientist and +5 flat research. This means that in the beginning of the game, this research lab would be pretty powerful, because it does give me a lot of research from the start. However, Imperial University gives you +3 research per scientist, and this is very useful if you want to sort of centralize all your research, as it actually says in the tooltip, because if you have a scientific sort of planet with a lot of researches, this will stack up quite a bit compared to if you only have this one with +1 research per scientist. So before I do this, actually, I will want to take a look at this planet. So The bad thing about it is that because of the poor farmer trait, I will be needing to put a lot of workers as farmers. This means that I won't have all that many scientists. So I will be choosing the research lab because I won't have a lot of scientists, so I want some extra flat research to make sure that I have decent research. Right, let's do that. Although, then again, do I want to research? Another good start would be to go for agriculture research, because, as I said, I'm terrible at farming. So getting an aeroponics farm would be kind of useful, or getting soil enrichment would be kind of useful. But this only works on planets where you have bad farming. So aeroponics is usually the thing that I choose because it is very versatile, and this would give me extra food, and having extra food would mean that I will have to assign less farmers, and those people can then go work as workers or be researchers. So there's a whole balance thing here going on that you have to keep an eye on. Also, I realize I've talked quite a lot now before I even ended the turn, but there's quite a lot to do at the start, quite a lot to think about. And also at around, I'm guessing, around turn 50, you will see some raiders entering your territory, and in order to fight those you will be needing some combat ships, and the easiest way to get some combat ships is to make the basic combat ships that the game provides. So we got this one, soldier class frigate. This is oh yeah, a frigate, as you could say. This is a very small ship. I won't be making those yet because they are very fragile. So yeah, I want to build some of these, at least 2 or 3, to fight off the initial raider attack. And in order to do that, I will be needing a lot of production. So that also means that I need to keep an eye on my industry. So here the choice really is between agriculture, research, or industry. And I think I'm gonna go with agriculture, simply because we are poor farmers, so let's go for aeroponics. Then again, the problem is that in order to build this building, you will need better industry. So actually, I think I might go for industry first. Let's go with the automated rover bay. Alright, there we go. However, it does take 27 turns to research, so what could I do to change this? I gotta switch around some of these workers. This would halve the research time. I wouldn't be getting any production at all, which may be bad. And now we would have starvation. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it at that so that we have a decent research time. Right, well, let's end the turn, just for the sake of ending it. Here you can see the start date. This sort of indicates the amount of turns that you have done. Every point after the decimal is pretty much 1 turn. So 1/10 of a start date year is 1 turn. Right, and the turns go pretty fast in this game because there isn't always all that much to do every turn. It isn't as slow paced as many other 4X games where you have to do a lot of stuff every turn. You just have to let the turns go, I guess. There we go. So we have now explored this system right here, and let's take a look at the planets. So we got this one. This one is actually very nice. It's a medium Terran planet, very similar to the one that I actually have right here. It's actually better, I think, because let's go and take a look. So you have the spice. This is a strategic resource, as it says, and it gives me +1 research per scientist throughout the empire, which is actually very good, I must say. And you also have this tropical trait. This means that I have +20% approval. That's very nice. And +3 BC. This is the currency in this game from tourism. That's actually a very nice planet. So I don't even have to think about it. I'll be sending over my colony ship This is the colony ship you start off with, and it is quite important that you send this one to a decent planet from the start, because it takes quite a bit of resources to build another colony ship. Let's take a look here. So, colony ship, as you can see, it takes 250 production, which is quite a lot. Just compare this to this frigate here, is 111. So, it would take me a lot of turns to build one. And I gotta research and build a bunch more industry before I want to do that. So let's send off our colony ship over here. I usually don't send off colony ships or these civilian ships around alone, but there shouldn't be anything threatening it at all. Right, and this our exploration ship right here, we can send off to explore some other systems. Also, let's take a look at the statistics right here. So, an important one when it comes to exploration is this here, your fuel reserves. And as long as you are within your own territory, you will not be using any fuel. So, for example, we will be going this way. And as you can see, we are not using any fuel at all. So you can go everywhere without too much concern in your own territory. But once you leave your territory, which we will be doing if you want to explore this system here, the amount of fuel will be used. Let's continue the turns. Okay, now we have colonization. Yes, we will colonize it. So here you can see also the maximum population that your planet can hold. This depends on the size of the planet. There we go, so we got a nice planet back here. It is... yeah, we only have one person here and it isn't growing. I think it isn't growing. I'm gonna have to wait a turn. Let's actually just do that. So, no, it's not growing. So, one way you can sort of force growth is... well, yeah, to build some buildings, so, but we can't do that yet. Or you can just send over some people. But I can't do that yet because you need freighters to send over people. But you can just drag someone, for example, from my first colony to this one. But as you can see, we cannot send over people because we don't have freighters. So we'll have to wait a little while before we can do that. But the reason why I did take this planet so early on is because it does give me some nice buffs. It does give me some money and some more approval, so that's all very good. Right, now let's go back to our explorer, who is about to leave our territory. As you can see, the amount of fuel that we are using is going down, and the only way to refuel is to go back to one of your colonies. I'm not sure if any colony will do, or if it needs to be a colony with a starbase. Maybe it's gonna say. Yeah, and if they run out of fuel, they will enter cryostasis and they will automatically go back to one of your nearest colonies. So let's now continue on. We have a lot of fuel on this one, which is very good, so we can also explore this system. Also, let's take a look at the larger galaxy map. So, as you can see, it is somewhat in a spiral shape. And the reason why I chose for this is because it does add a little bit more gameplay choices. Because you have these vast open spaces in between systems. And that sort of means that the natural exploration will sort of follow these arms. And it also means that it's not gonna happen that often that people will attack over these vast open spaces. They will most likely go this way because, as I mentioned before, you will be using fuel if you are far away from your own territory. And now this ship has a lot of fuel because it is equipped as an exploration vessel, but many combat vessels will not have that much fuel, and so they will need to take the long way. And that adds a bunch more strategy onto your galaxy map. Hopefully this actually works out the way that I hope it works out. We'll have to wait and see. So let us continue. In the meantime, we are waiting for the automated rover bay research to complete. As you can see, the turns go rather fast. I am just pressing my spacebar button to end the turns. And now we have completed our first research, which is excellent. And I'm hoping that the music isn't too loud. let's actually quickly go to the options menu. Sometimes it equalizes the sound levels again if you do that. Anyway, so we have now explored this system as well. And as you can see, a lot of these planets have some special traits, which is very interesting. Right, now he still has a lot of fuel, so let's go and explore this one. I'm gonna be sending him first back to my territory and through my territory over here, so that I don't use too much fuel. Okay, so now that we have the research done, we can start to perhaps get some industry going. So yes, let's go get an automated rover bay. Now of course I don't have any workers, so that means that I need to assign some. 14 turns before this is completed. I could of course make all my scientists workers, then it would be 9 turns. However, that would mean that I have 9 turns without any research at all. So that's sort of the choices you have to make. It's either 9 turns without research or 14 turns to wait for this and do some research on the side. Let's take a look how long it would take for me to... I guess we were gonna go for aeroponics. That would take me 28 turns. Let's see. Okay, well... Okay, I'm gonna split it up. No, actually not. I want to build this first, because this will allow me to output more production earlier, which also will allow me to build some defensive ships earlier, which I will very much need. Right, let us continue. Now we got our ship going back. So as you can see, turns go rather fast. We are 18 turns into the game. Okay, he's in my territory now. Let's send them this way. There are also sometimes some, well, I guess I wouldn't say neutral, but some hostile independent factions, or maybe not factions, just some people that will attack pretty much everybody. And we already have the rover bay. Okay, so that went pretty fast, simply because the turns go fast. That's very good. Now we have a lot of production, as you can see, and we should actually be able to make a frigate rather fast. You have 10 turns to make one of these. But now that I'm talking about these ships, let's take a look at the ships themselves. So here we have the fleet management screen, and you can go into the shipyard and you can customize all your ships. So you have 5 hull types to choose from. These are 2 bigger ones I can't use just yet, but as you can see, every hull type has a different size, and you have all these little little blocks here. This is places where you can place all these modules. And the nice thing about all of this is that every race has a different layout, which means you will be using different modules on different positions for every race. And this sort of makes it so that every race is sort of characteristic. So you will be needing some different gameplay and different knowledge for every race that you play with. And it also means that that's pretty much also the reason why choosing the same race traits for different races still makes them different. I'm hoping all of that makes sense. So let's take a look at the ship that we want to make. Soldier class frigate. This is the one that we will be making. I'm gonna be starting off with just one that the game provides, because there's a lot that you can do wrong with ships. The first few ships that you will make from scratch will probably be absolutely terrible, unless you're very good at the game, or unless you have a lot of experience with the first Stardrive game, because I think it was somewhat similar. So yeah, but I will be starting off with this one. It should be decent enough to fight off the first raider attack. We'll probably be going more into depth with all of this in later episodes. So let's just close and let's see what else we can do. And here we actually have a anomaly. unexplored anomaly. You can, let's go and take a look at it. You are trying to interact with the inhabitants of this planet, or to attack this planet. Let's talk to them. Let's see what they have to say. These seem to be the Rygar. Welcome, welcome, my friends, to this beautiful Sands of Dawn. Your journey here must have been a long one. Alright. We too were once explorers of the stars, and still many of our people choose to travel far from home. But most of us choose to stay. You see, we find it to be mostly too cold in space. Even so, if you wish to trade, we have some opportunities for you. Oh, that's interesting. So, Dawn is a burning desert world, populated by a noble race of scientists, sentients, who are right at home in the incredible heat. While perfectly capable of space travel, the Dornish... Wait a minute. Dornish? Sort of, reminds me of Game of Thrones. Have come to the conclusion that most of the worlds are simply far too cool for their liking. Okay, so here we have a few choices. Gain troop ship. Oh, so we gain some mercenaries if we pay 500 to them. Or we can let them repair and refuel our fleet, which is actually quite useful, but quite expensive. So we don't have anything to do here yet. But there are multiple anomalies everywhere. Those are question marks that you may see pop up if you are close enough to detect them. And yeah, there's a lot of things to do with those. Sometimes you'll have a derelict ship that you have to sound some ground forces to explore. Then you go into the tactical side of the game, similar to XCOM. Kind of a lightweight version, but still, it's quite fun. So let us... We still have a lot of fuel, so let's go and over here. I don't even need fuel to get there, so that's very good. And we now have the chance to hire a hero. Who is this? Bloodfang, Bloodthirsty, Virility. So yes, this is a very aggressive type of person. What does he need? 80 money, and he has an upkeep of 1. I'm not sure. Alright, I'm gonna hire him. There we go. You'll now fight for me. Very good. He's been hired, all our money is gone, and we no longer earn any money. However, you can change your money income in the Empire Management screen. So here you can change tax rate from 100% to 50%. So as you can see over here, this is my money income. It's currently at 0. If I up it to about a few percent, I'm getting 1 per turn. But I will be losing my production from this, as you can see right here. So there is another choice between, do you want money or do you want production? So this is all the sort of balancing things that you need to take into account when you are building out an empire. I guess I'm gonna set it to about 8%. That gives me about 2 per turn. That seems reasonable, and still a reasonable amount of production, so that's very good. Right, let's end a few more turns. Hopefully we get a new ship soon. Let's see. Or didn't I build one yet? Okay, so yeah, this was another thing that I wanted to do. Did I actually build a ship or not? No, I didn't. Okay, so the thing is that if you don't produce anything, pretty much all your production is lost. But here you have this structure, I guess you could say, and it converts trade goods into, well, yeah, into money. So this is something that just always works, I suppose. Let's just get rid of it for now. But yeah, it's usually something that I want to input after all my construction is done, and I wish it sort of would do this automatically, but let me just show. So let's build one of these. And now let's put this one behind it. So once this one is done, it will automatically do the trade goods production. Which means that if I do forget to build something else, I will be getting money in return of all the production that I otherwise would be losing. So let's go ahead and do this. And I really thought that I built a ship. Maybe I didn't. Oh well, might have totally forgot. Let's just continue. And we aren't researching anything at all, unfortunately. So... And now we have found this system. Over here you can see a wormhole. You can go in that and you will pop up someplace else. Let's actually go do that. Let's see where we end up. Oh, and immediately we discovered these guys, the polyps. Right, so here you have the whole diplomacy screen. And there are certain things that you also need to take into account here. So it's not as simple as many other Forex games might be. Over here you can see the tolerance. This sort of limits the amount of treaties and diplomacy actions that you can actually do between certain people. So for example, if you wanted some small trade rights, you can see this costs me 30 tolerance. And this will go down over time. Let's see. So would he actually do that? Oh, he would actually do that, I guess. That's quite nice. Let's confirm the deal. There we go. So he actually will allow me to trade. That's very nice. So in order to trade, you will be requiring some freighters, which we don't have yet. We'll be building those soon enough. So our ship is now here. We took this wormhole and we can actually take a look at this person's empire. Let's see if he will allow me to go there. We're not hostile, so remnant encounter. One of our fleets has encountered a mysterious fleet that did not appear on sensors until we entered the system. They are not responding to our hails. Long-range scans indicate that these ships possess an advanced arsenal of weaponry. It looks like they are setting an intercept course for our ships. We should assume they are hostile intent. Oh, that's not good. Where exactly are they? I sure hope we don't get attacked too soon because, well, oh, here they are. Okay, that's pretty bad. Whoa, that's a huge ship. That could pretty much obliterate my explorer in an instant. So, let's send him back. Hopefully he's faster. Okay, they are gone. Wow, this dude has some serious issues. I'm glad, I hope they don't take the wormhole too soon. That was a very dangerous fleet, I must say. Right, anyway, I guess I will be ending the episode right here, and next time we might actually be able to go into battle with some of those raiders that should show up soon enough. That is, if I can manage to get some of these combat frigates, because I'll be needing those. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.